2019 has been a very good year for kart racers, with the release of Team Sonic Racing from Sumo Digital and Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled by Beanox. Both games are budget priced at under $50, and both come from a legacy of being among the rare games to challenge Mario Kart's throne as
the ultimate kart racer.
But let's say you're on a budget. You can only buy one of these two games. Which one do you pick? Well, I'm going to break down the pros and cons of each one, and at the end, maybe we'll both come away a little more educated on the matter. This is a tough category to start out with, because I think both games are pretty nice to look at, with slick lighting and a high level of detail. But they're also trying to accomplish different goals. Team Sonic Racing embraces trends in pure racing games. Cars and characters are easily identifiable no matter how fast you're going. The game also shoots for a silky smooth 60 frames per second, which is pretty much the de facto standard for a racing game these days, and on my PlayStation 4 Pro, it's extremely smooth. But small things drag it down, like tiny graphical glitches, such as this bizarre black void in the Thunder deck track. That's not supposed to be there. And while lighting is nice, I'd say the artwork for a couple of tracks is downright ugly, like the lava meets ice hidden volcano. It's a little hard to tell what's safe to drive on in this track, and it's not the only example of this in the game. Crash Team Racing is a far more polished and cinematic looking game, with a graphical style that resembles a big-budget DreamWorks movie. All of the environments and animations are incredible, but underneath all those effects, it hides some shortcomings. The most notable of which is that this game is only 30 frames per second, which is half of what most racing games operate at nowadays. It tries to make up for that with heavy amounts of motion blur, which helps, but it's almost a little too much, especially in screenshots. It also doesn't have very much regard for its color choices, meaning certain characters on certain tracks kind of blend into the background and it makes them harder to see. That's a big art direction no-no in my book. I'm also not really a fan of the way characters in this game look. They aren't stylized or cartoony enough, giving them a hint of the same uncanny humanoid realism that made that Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer so weird. Okay, it's not quite that bad, but I definitely prefer the more exaggerated way Crash looked in the last Skylanders game, with his big googly eyes. As such, in this category, I have to give it to Team Sonic Racing. Crash Team Racing is definitely a more technologically advanced game in terms of its graphics, but Team Sonic Racing has a much cleaner look that runs a lot smoother, making it much easier to see what's going on, and that's what matters the most. Both games contain more than just straight racing, but not all modes are created equal. In terms of tracks, Team Sonic Racing contains 7 environment types with 3 tracks each. While that's a pretty respectable 21 tracks, reusing locations like that makes it feel like there's less than there really is. 21 tracks also causes problems for how Grand Prix mode is structured, because it's such an odd number. The 7th and final environment type is actually a secret that must be unlocked, which means there's only 18 tracks when you start, a number that doesn't fit into the 5 proposed GP Cups. And once you unlock the extra environment, it makes for too many tracks to fit into GP mode. Team Sonic Racing just kind of throws its hands up and never accommodates for these secret tracks, leaving them out of Grand Prix mode entirely and recycling previous tracks for the final GP Cup. It's messy and a little confusing. Crash Team Racing does something a little similar, but not quite as bad. It currently contains 34 tracks, and each one is set in a unique environment, meaning no repeated locales. But just like Team Sonic Racing, some of those tracks aren't available in any of the Grand Prix modes, and only show up in single race events. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but at least Crash Team Racing doesn't reuse environment types. Then there's alternate modes. Most of Team Sonic Racing's extra modes are confined to the Team Adventure story campaign, and they're usually centered around training you to be a better driver. You have events that test your drifting skills, how well you can pass other cars, and how well you use weapons, among others. These events are strictly cooperative, however, and if you want something more competitive, your only options are the various types of racing, as there are no arena battle modes to speak of whatsoever. Crash Team Racing, on the other hand, has modes out the wazoo, Multiple types of races are covered, with 2 different kinds of time trial modes, as well as racing to find hidden tokens in each track. And you want arena battle modes? Crash Team Racing has them in spades. There's traditional battle, capture the flag, last man standing, and way more. And all of them can be played locally with split screen or online. Frankly, there's no question. This is one of the areas in which Team Sonic Racing is the most lacking, especially compared to the previous Sonic Racing games. Crash Team Racing just has a greater variety of everything, winning it this category. It used to be that kart racers were literally just confined to go-karts, but perhaps starting with Mario Kart Double Dash and its introduction of multiple vehicle types, kart racers have enjoyed increasing options for players to change the look and stats of their cars. For Crash Team Racing, this comes down to letting you pick different kart bodies, different paint jobs and stickers to display on those bodies, and different wheel types. None of these affect stats, which are determined instead by which character you pick. Characters themselves also have alternate colors and costumes as well. Some of this is unlocked normally through play, but most of it comes from the pit stop menu where you spend currency earned from finishing events. Unfortunately, you earn currency way too slowly, and the pit stop only rotates in new items daily, limiting how much you can unlock new stuff. Earning currency and spending it in the pit stop also only works while connected to the internet, which is more than a little frustrating. Team Sonic Racing has some similar unlock mechanics, but only just barely. Instead of a shop interface where you browse the selection of items, you spend currency on random loot drops that include new vehicle parts, new vinyl designs, new vehicle color palettes, and single-use equipable items. The game showers you in currency, so by the end of the single-player campaign, you should have enough to unlock most of the relevant stuff, even considering the randomization element. Vehicles are tied to specific characters, but can be customized with different fronts, rears, and wheels, of which there are 4 per each character. Mixing and matching parts also changes a vehicle's stats, allowing you to push or pull a character's ability to better suit your needs. And finally, equipable items let you start races with specific items, or increase the likelihood of getting certain weapons over the course of a race. Here, I think the clear winner is Team Sonic Racing. Sonic's game feels like it might have been originally designed to make you spend real money on in-game currency, and the developers simply removed that feature. Team Sonic Racing as it stands right now throws excess currency at your feet, making it trivial if a bit weird to unlock everything. The pit stop system in Crash Team Racing is far more insidious, however. It's bad enough that it's such a slow, tedious grind to get enough currency to unlock anything, but while producing this video, Activision and Beenox announced the ability to spend real money to earn currency faster. Clearly, their true intention all along was to deliberately make it terrible so that you'd be more likely to spend real money and skip all the grinding. And they very specifically waited to reveal this until after all the major gaming sites had turned in their articles so that such a blatantly greedy tactic wouldn't negatively impact the review scores. It is abhorrent. And you have to figure, 10 years from now, are those servers even still going to be functional? What will happen to all of those costumes and vehicle parts that require you to buy them from an online store that eventually won't have anything to connect to? If nothing else, Team Sonic Racing gives you peace of mind, earning it a win for this category. Team Sonic Racing comes from a legacy of kart racers with a reputation of being kinda difficult. This is particularly applicable for the last game, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform, which I never fully completed because I could never clear the last challenge needed to unlock the final gate. Thankfully, Team Sonic Racing is nowhere near that difficult, and even received a patch to bring down the difficulty even more. It's still no walk in the park, especially if you're going for 100% completion, but you'll be able to see the end of the single-player campaign without too much trouble. And those thirsting for a challenge can always crank the difficulty up to expert mode. Crash Team Racing, on the other hand, is a weird beast. Though it's technically an HD remaster of an old PlayStation game, it changes the handling model and the competency of your computer-controlled opponents. The end result is something I found significantly harder than not only the original PlayStation game, but harder than any other kart racer I've ever played. Though Crash Team Racing contains an easy mode option, it instead makes the game way too easy. I went from losing every race to winning them all by a length of half a lap or more. The difficulty options are exacerbated by going online because the weapons are balanced to have very few defensive functions. Races can feel more luck-based than even Mario Kart does, and that's before you factor in things like people spamming blue flame boosts. By comparison, Team Sonic Racing is a bit more balanced, if only by the virtue that it sticks a bit closer to the standard Mario Kart formula. This means it's easier to defend yourself from incoming attacks. And because of that, I think Team Sonic Racing wins this category. A lot of people seem to be waiting patiently to see whether Sega or Sumo Digital will announce DLC for Team Sonic Racing. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be a possibility, as Sega has already said there are no plans for additional Team Sonic Racing content. What's in the game right now is all you'll ever get. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, because that original Sega All-Stars Racing is one of the best-selling games of all time. This could and should be a huge franchise to rival the success of Mario Kart. And somewhere, somebody is dropping the ball and not giving these games the time or budgets they deserve. Crash Team Racing, on the other hand, is going all in on future content, with a season-based structure similar to what games like Fortnite are doing. For now, it seems like the game will receive regular content updates monthly, including new challenges, new racers, new karts, and new tracks. There are currently 3 months worth of seasonal DLC planned, but there's no telling whether things will continue beyond September, where the game will receive content inspired by Spyro the Dragon. Either way, it's more than Team Sonic Racing has going on, making Crash the winner by default. So which is the winner? Is it Team Sonic Racing? What it lacks in track diversity, it makes up for with a smooth frame rate and a decent unlock system. Or is it Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, with its cinematic visuals and its astronomically high skill ceiling? Speaking personally, I think the thing that matters the most in any game is the actual gameplay. If you don't have a good core gameplay system that serves as a solid foundation, then it won't matter what you build on top of it. And for that reason, I think Team Sonic Racing is our winner. Both games have their share of strengths and weaknesses, but there's no beating the fact that Team Sonic Racing just plays better. On top of the PS4, Xbox One, and PC versions targeting a much smoother 60 frames per second, the whole game is just more friendly to players of all skill levels. Crash Team Racing isn't really a bad game, not by a long shot, but it's clearly way more focused on catering to highly skilled players. They're valid too, but speaking as somebody who's played a lot of kart racers, some for more than 100 hours each, Crash Team Racing leaves a lot of its player base out in the cold. A lot of people can't or simply don't want to play at the extreme expert level that the game demands. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who love Crash Team Racing for embracing that kind of challenge, but there's no denying that Team Sonic Racing is a more well-rounded experience for all players, both newbie and expert alike. It certainly doesn't help that Crash Team Racing's method for unlocking new costumes, karts, and paint jobs is tedious at best and flat-out disgusting at worst. Even if you decide to rise to Crash Team Racing's extreme challenge, the rewards for doing so are simply too thin to be worth the effort. It just stops being fun, and given the fact that they let you straight up buy in-game currency, it's clearly not supposed to be fun. So congratulations to Team Sonic Racing. It's not the greatest kart racer ever made, but in this face-off, it earned its win against Crash Team Racing. Special special shoutouts to my Patreon supporters. Without them, videos like this wouldn't be possible. So a big thank you to Gabriel M., Juan Pablo, Dave M., Connor F., Thomas G., Lucas, Tom B., Fiesta, Ryan M., Logan A., Sam B., Ashley J., Anders, Ryan L., Teko Kami, Rose S., and Steven. If you'd like to join their ranks and help me continue making great content for the internet, just hit up patreon.com/blazehedgehog and check out everything that's available. See you on the next video!